Welcome back to Wrench Fest Garage. Today we're back on the Ultimate Ford Dentside Cummins. We've been very busy getting this thing ready for paint, and today we're going to take it up to the paint booth. So stay tuned and enjoy. It is a very cold day out here today, but we are back on the Dentside. These are the new doors I got. I'm hoping that they're in quite a bit better shape than what I have. We're gonna get them all stripped down and then see what we got. It's hard to tell exactly what you got until you got them all stripped down. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna strip these doors down. We're gonna see what we got, and hopefully they're better than what we have. These are the doors that came with the truck, and as you can see, we've already started patching some of the rust holes. But overall, this door's not in horrible shape. But the problem with this door, where the most work's gonna be, is on the bottom side right here. This is just all rusted out. It can be fixed. There is patch panels for these, but it's a whole lot of work. So hopefully the other doors are gonna be in better shape. Passenger side door has a bunch of Bondo in it. I don't know if the camera does that justice, but that's, I don't know, probably about 3/16 of an inch of Bondo. I mean, it's not horribly bad. Again, it could be fixed and all that fun stuff. Haven't got the paint off this to see how bad the rust is. But this door too is not quite as bad as the other side on the bottom. So this door is fixable, but probably more work than those other doors are gonna be. So let's get them stripped and see where we're at. This is a passenger side fender, and it's not in horrible shape, but there was some body damage back here that's been repaired. It's been bondoed, it's been pulled out, it's got a bunch of little holes in it and stuff. It's not perfect by any means. It would need to be bondoed again. So I got another fender for it, and we'll get it stripped down and see what kind of shape it's in. So far it looks better than this one, so let's have a look at it. Everything off this door just so we can get the paint knocked off of it. These mirrors are pretty cool. Actually, I just noticed that it says Ford right there. These are actual genuine Ford mirrors. I think that says Ford. Hang on, let me get my glasses. That does. That is freaking cool. Gosh dang it, I wish I'd have got the other one now.
I'm sure that you could call him.
What's cool too is that fender over there has a Ford mud flap.
Mud flaps ain't cool. I don't care where they come from.
Yeah, but it is cool. Okay, so that is a genuine Ford mirror. I'm sure I've seen them before, but it has a little Ford emblem on the bottom of it. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, did that come as an after, like something you could purchase after the truck, or did that come on the truck from the factory? Anyway, if you know, let me know in the comments, but it's pretty cool. It says Ford. She's a little stiff.
There's some rust at the bottom, but I don't think it's as bad as, I don't know.
I think it's just all surface rust.
Hopefully.
That corner looks a little rough. I don't know, we'll see when we get it stripped off what the outside looks like, but this looks pretty repairable. These things are just old, brittle, and garbage. Oops. Whoops. Okay. That's not how that's supposed to come off, in case you were wondering. But it's very old, very brittle. It's bad shape. So we'll do the best we can with it here.
How about took me out?
Watch out. Look, there's another genuine speaker right there. That one's in pretty tough shape. I'm liking what I'm seeing though. I'm liking what I'm seeing inside this door. I don't see any Bondo, any repairs so far. It looks like maybe this was the original color. It's definitely been repainted because I can see overspray. So it probably wasn't a great paint job, but it is the colors matching. So anyway, it looks pretty good. We got a little bit of rust going on down on the bottom right there. Not super happy with that, but it is repairable. And I think it's better than the door that I have, so. We got this door all stripped down and it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. There was some Bondo out here in the middle, just some mild dents, nothing too crazy. There's some rust holes in the bottom corners. Pretty easy fix, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. They're a lot better shape than what's on the truck. So we're gonna finish these doors up and we're gonna go ahead and use these doors. So what we need to do next on this door is we're gonna cut this rust out and we're gonna put in a little piece of patch panel. We're not gonna use this whole thing. This is a piece that used to be a complete patch panel for a door for the outside. And I've been hacking away at it, using different parts of it for different parts of the door and stuff and whatnot. There's a little bit left on the bottom, which will work perfect for this bottom corner. But first what we need to do is we need to get the paint off. And the reason you want to do that before you go to cutting into it, because if you try to take the paint off after you've already made your cut, then you're going to make your edges super thin. You want these edges to be as thick as possible, because then it's easier to weld to them. So let's start hacking at this and see how she goes. When I'm doing these patch panels, I like to take off as little as possible. That way it's less work, less welding. You can always cut more if you want. Also use some tape to keep my lines straight. It just makes it easier when you're going back together. We got that piece all cut out, and now we're gonna clean up the rust on the inside and make sure there's enough metal there still that it's gonna be okay. We're gonna use a brush and maybe a wire brush, something to get in here. I actually have a chemical that'll turn rust into basically iron or whatever it does. It's a rust converter. I might try that because it doesn't have to sit on there very long. But yeah, let's clean it up a little bit with the brush, and then maybe I'll put that other stuff on it. See what that does. This stuff is called Rust Dissolver, and I got it at the Home Depot. Let's spray a little on there, see what she says. Okay, just gotta let that sit for like 20 minutes or so and wipe it off the water. All right, we let that stuff sit on for maybe 15-20 minutes. You can tell it did a little bit, didn't do a whole lot, but it looks better than it did. So we're gonna go ahead and finish cleaning it up, and we're gonna shoot a little probably weld-through primer in there just to hopefully prevent the rust from coming back, and then we're gonna patch the piece in. I'm gonna spray some weld-through primer on this door, and I don't really want to get any on the outside of it because the weld-through primer doesn't really weld all that well. Spits and sputters a lot. So anyway, I just put some tape around there to kind of tape off the good edges. We'll paint the rust inside here. Hopefully it does something to prevent rust in the future. I mean, it can't hurt, right? All right, so now we need to make our patch piece, and I typically would keep this piece and just trace it out or use another method, but that would be the best one in this scenario. But I somehow lost it. I don't know where it went. Probably threw it away. Anyway, it's gone. So we're gonna use a different method. I have just a plain nothing piece of paper here and a crayon. We're gonna stick this piece of paper on this edge right here. This will be my starting edge, and then I'll just kind of trace it out. Makes a nice line. Kind of have to feel where you got to go. So I'll cut that out. I'll transfer that over to my patch piece. Then I'll cut that out and hopefully it fits. Got this patch panel all welded in. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. All we got to do is grind it smooth, put a little Bondo on it, and it should be good to go. But we got about 100 more spots on this truck, just like this one, that needs to get done. Okay, we're here looking at the roof, assessing what needs to be done. And there's a few dents in it. So what I want to do is I want to put a little Bondo in this and fix some of these dents. I've never Bondoed before, so this will be a first experience for me. But I figured what better spot to start Bondoing than on the roof of the truck that probably nobody's ever going to see. So this will be kind of a practice run for me, and we'll slap a little Bondo on there and see how it looks. See if we want to continue Bondoing, or, well, we don't have any choice. But I guess we'll just have to figure it out as we go. So let's get after it. So this is the hardener for the Bondo, and I'm just kneading it in here, mixing it up, make sure that it's all good and mixed up. Watched a YouTube video on this, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. This is the actual Bondo that I'm just opening. Ooh, it smells. It's got a strong smell. So let's pour a little out and see how this stuff mixes up. I guess you're not supposed to stir this because it just creates air bubbles, and you don't want air bubbles in your Bondo. This stuff I just bought from Harbor Freight. So this is probably about the cheapest Bondo, but it is Bondo brand for whatever that's worth. Kind of like putty. I apologize to everyone that is a body man. It's just not me. Okay, so I guess you're supposed to take this hardener and go down about half of it. Put a little extra in there. I don't know. Because it kind of piled up there, so it's a little thick. It's not really laying down. And then just go to mixing it. Okay, so far I'm just making a mess of it. Not sure what the dry time is on this stuff, but I guess we'll figure it out. Probably, what is it? It's about 30 degrees in my garage today, so I don't know how bad that affects it. I've heard two different things on it from the internet. One that it'll slow it way down, and another guy said it's a chemical reaction and it doesn't care what temperature it is, so we'll see. But then again, I don't really have anything to compare it to because I've never done this before. Okay, that's something. Let's go put it on the truck. It's not going on as smooth as I would hope, but after a few passes with it, it seems to smooth out. But I don't know if I'm getting enough out there in the center where the dent really is. Less pressure in the center, more pressure on the outside. Yeah, I can still see the dent. It's probably not what I want. All right, we're gonna run with that. We're gonna sand that out, see what that looks like. I got another little dent back here. We're gonna see if we can patch. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is right there. This is just a little tiny dent. I think this is more what the Bondo is made for, is these little tiny dents. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, we let this Bondo dry. Now we're gonna go to sanding it. This is a Harbor Freight special. Wasn't very much money. Let's see how it works. It works, not bad. I'd like to get above it so I could put a little pressure down on it, but the top of the cab's kind of sinking in a little bit, kind of bending a little bit. I don't know, we'll work that out, but it works. Evidently it's going to be a lot of work. You need to be really careful how much Bondo you're putting on. The more you put on, the more you gotta sand off, and sanding sucks. And that's why I'm not a body man, but we're gonna do it anyway. It's been a couple of months and we've mastered the art of Bondo. Not really, but we've got some stuff done. All right, let's start up here on the front of the truck and tell you what we've done. This is the original fender, at least original to the truck. I don't know if it's an original fender, but it had the holes in there for the chrome. So we've covered them up, we patched them up, we fixed a few dents, a little bit of Bondo. This is the door that we replaced. It needs just a touch more sanding and it'll be good to go. This door turned out pretty good. There's a couple dents in the middle, but it's gonna be fine. This rear door, kind of a different story. I wound up patching a bunch of rust here, and over here. And I would have loved to have found a good replacement door for these, but they're just about impossible to find on the crew cabs. But it turned out good enough for my skill level. It's gonna be good enough. All right, we just had a bunch of dents on this bed that need to be fixed. There's some dents down here, and you can see just a few patches here. We've covered up all the holes for the chrome. I'm not gonna use chrome, please forgive me. And overall, this bed turned out pretty good. The floor is not the best of shape, but it's still a good floor. It's a good bed. It was a good bed to start with. Had a few dents, a few spots we had to fix. We had to fix this spot back here. This had got like a tire fell off and crinkled all this in, so we replaced all this. We got to sand that just a skosh more, but it's good. Okay, so back to the tailgate. There's a dent right here that I'm not really gonna fix, and there's a few dents in it. It's a tailgate, it's an old truck, they got beat up. This is not gonna be a perfect paint job, this is still gonna be a work truck. So I don't wanna spend a lot of time, but overall this tailgate looks pretty good. All right, this side of the bed is actually probably a little bit less work. There was a big dent back there, but we popped it out and bonded it. And there was another dent right here and just a few dents up on top. The fender well, the wheel well, that looked pretty good. There's just a skosh of rust starting right there. But we took care of that. I don't know if you noticed or not, but we took the dualies off. I'm gonna just single this truck out. I'm gonna get some wheels that'll make it look better than what it is. Anyway, moving forward. We had a spot here on the back of the cab that had some rust in it. So we fiberglassed over that and it turned out really good. So shout out to the guy that told me to use fiberglass over the small holes. That's way better than trying to weld all that stuff up. So appreciate that. This is the other passenger side rear door, and we replaced the panel from here down. Not sure that was a good idea, but it turned out pretty good, good enough. There's a bunch of rust underneath the door. We had to replace all that and patch that. So for what it is and my skill level, it turned out pretty good. This is the front passenger door, and this door needed minimal work. It had a little dent right there. Well, actually that's where the mirror was. So we patched the holes there, covered them up with Bondo. That's basically all that door needed. And this fender here, only thing we had to do with this fender here is we covered up the holes where the badging was right here. And that's it. The hood's pretty much done. It's in really good shape now. Got the paint off of the truck inside and out. So let's get this thing loaded up and headed to the paint booth. We got this beast all loaded up. We're headed to the paint booth. The next time you see this truck, we're gonna be painting it, so stay tuned.